What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Call of Duty Vanguard, kind of giving you guys my opinion on it so far, even though we know very little, right? I just want to talk to you guys just straight up, no news to cover, no updates or whatever, barely any. There might be some if you lived under a rock recently, but if you've been keeping up with COD news, nothing really new is coming today, or in this video at least. I'm really just going to be talking about my thoughts, my expectations, and maybe, as the title says, I'm not sure what the title will be, but probably something along the lines of have hope for COD 2021, something like that. Real quick side note on the gameplay, you're going to be watching some face-off. I think it's hardcore face-off. I'm using the new OTS-9 at the new DLC weapon. Hopefully it is good. Hopefully it's good in Warzone, because I still haven't gotten to use in Warzone, but at this point I've pretty much leveled it up. This is some decent gameplay. I think I have like 2 clips in this gameplay, so hopefully you enjoy it. Anyway, we are here to talk about Vanguard, but before we do, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. I bet those of you who watch every single video thought I was going to forget today. Nope, didn't forget. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to leave a like, join the Discord, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch, yada yada yada. All right, now let's get into it. All right, so the first thing I wanted to say in terms of why you should have hope for Vanguard is just in a mentality standpoint, in a mindset standpoint. When you go into something upset, when you go into something angry, there is a high chance that whatever you're going into is going to further upset you, further anger you, right? If I went into Cold War expecting a terrible game, expecting skill-based matchmaking and all that stuff, all of these features, all of these negative attributes of Call of Duty, especially in Cold War, would bother me, right? It would bother me much more than if I just went in with an open mind. If I went in with an open mind, yes, it would bother me, right? Nobody likes skill-based matchmaking. Nobody likes, lack of content or whatever else. But because I went in expecting these things, or because I went in, acknowledging that like some of these attributes of Call of Duty are going to be unavoidable, I would be less bothered. I'm not saying I did, because I didn't expect Cold War to be this bad, but I'm just saying I would have been less bothered, right? So that leads me to my first point, which is expectations, right? At this point, we know Call of Duty 6v6 multiplayer is just kind of a staging ground for Warzone at this point, right? We know that Warzone is the cash cow of the Call of Duty franchise. We know that their main priority is going to be Call of Duty Warzone. They're not really going to care about multiplayer anymore. I think that's pretty much been established from the remade maps, the lack of 6v6 content, lack of maps, lack of weapons, lack of just DLC things. And so I think that's my first piece of advice for you guys who are interested in Warzone, or not in Warzone, but in Vanguard. If you're really into it, I think you should come to terms that it might suck. It could very well suck. It could very well not have a lot of content. It could have stricter skill-based matchmaking than Cold War, if that's even possible. Just go into it with some expectations. If these things bother you enough, don't get the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the 3rd year now. We know Modern Warfare had skill-based. We know Cold War did. We think previous Call of Duty games did, but it's not like for sure. But in terms of these 2 games so far, I think it's not a coincidence that these games have been on PC that have higher skill-based matchmaking, but that's a different conspiracy topic for another time. I think we know at this point kind of the basis of what we're getting, right? We're gonna get probably an unfinished product, probably just annoying stuff in the game, claymores, bouncing betties, whatever. Like, we're probably gonna get this stuff. They're probably gonna make some change that we didn't ask for, whether it be the mini map or the streak system. Like, they're probably gonna do something that pisses the community off. But you gotta realize that it is what it is, right? This is Call of Duty at this point. It's a staging ground. It's not the main focus. It's Warzone now, all right? Warzone's the main focus. So, if you just have no intention of playing Warzone, I maybe don't get the game. I don't know, maybe watch my review when it comes out if you want to get the game, because I do plan on making those. So, again, if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. But one of the main reasons why I'm a little bit more optimistic, aside from just, mindset and mentality, is because the game has had more time, all right? Like, Cold War was definitely rushed. I think everybody knows that. Modern Warfare, I wouldn't say it was rushed, but it did lack a lot of content. I think a part of it, or actually a big part of it, probably had to do with Warzone, because they knew they were releasing, a battle royale on that engine at the same time, or like, I guess a few months later, because it came out in like, what, March or something like that? So that might have been slightly rushed and slightly different because they had to appease, you know, what Warzone would have been. So, you know, perk balance, different streaks, different lethals and tacticals, like all that stuff had to be specifically balanced for a battle royale, not just a 6v6 multiplayer. And so I think that, you know, Call of Duty Vanguard isn't necessarily going to have to worry about that too much. Like, yes, they're going to worry about weapons and things like that, but they don't have to necessarily worry about building an entire new game, building an entire new franchise or whatever. And I think that's something that Cold War didn't necessarily have to, but Cold War really lost its focus because they had so many different modes, so many different playlists that they just didn't need to have. Like Fireteam Dirty Bomb, like we didn't need that. All right, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know anybody on YouTube or Twitch who consistently plays that. I don't know anybody on my friends list, anybody I talk to in real life who plays that. So I think as long as Vanguard keeps it short and simple, you know, maybe just keep the original, you know, your TDM, kill confirm, domination, a couple other things, maybe, you know, surge, cap the flag, demolition, stuff like that. You know, just keep it simple. Don't drift off into this whole gunfight thing. Don't make separate maps. We don't need a ground war. We don't need a, you know, Fireteam Dirty Bomb. The previous Call of Duties have had it, and at least in my opinion, they're less played. I'm sure Activision has the numbers on these, you know, playlists and modes. I don't think they're played very often. I don't know anybody in my friends list or anybody on YouTube or Twitch who significantly plays these different playlists more than like once or twice, you know what I mean? Like maybe if you're going for camo, maybe they're good for that, but you know, aside from that, I don't think people play in those specific game modes for fun. That's just my opinion. You know, maybe you do. Maybe you're one of those people. In the comment section, go ahead and let me know if you play Fireteam or, you know, Ground War, Modern Warfare, something like that. So that's the next reason why I'm personally a little bit more optimistic about Vanguard. And before I, you know, wrap up the video, I want to say I'm not like trying to shill or whatever. I'm just trying to be, I guess, kind of not a light. I don't know. That sounds kind of cheesy. I'm just trying to be like realistic with the game. I don't want to go into the next COD. Oh, it's going to be another Cold War. It's going to be unfinished, and I'm going to hate it all year. Like I don't want to do that. You know, let me hate it for a reason that is hateable. I talked about this in my X-Defiant video. If you guys missed that, go ahead and watch that. But basically, when I talked about X-Defiant, I talked about how a lot of the community, a lot of the fan base from other COD games or other games in general, they look at X-Defiant, they're just like, okay, this looks terrible. This looks like a ripoff. This looks like it's copy-paste of another game. And the thing is, nobody's played it, you know? Maybe for Exclusive Ace or Drifter, you can say that. But if you're just a random guy on Twitter, you know, 5 followers or whatever, you know, plays Call of Duty all day, you haven't played the new game. How can you judge it? How can you say it's going to be terrible? Like, yes, from things we see, like from the trailer, things we hear, like what's going to be in the game. I'm talking about Vanguard at this point. Like, for instance, if we know certain score streaks are in the game, if we know certain maps are in the game, like that might sway our opinion. That might be like, oh, okay, maybe it'll be good, maybe it'll be bad. But you can't say it's going to be terrible before you even touch the game, all right? That's kind of the main point of the video. I'm not trying to shill or anything like that. I'm not a shill. I actually had some comments the other day where people were like, oh, this guy's clearly an Activision shill. He only says positive things. That was a funny comment and got a good laugh out of that. So thank you to whoever wrote that. But that's pretty much going to do it for the video. A bit of a shorter one today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. You know, I kind of just went off the top, went off the chest. Didn't really write anything down. But again, hopefully you enjoyed it. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Sorry I die a lot in these games. I just noticed when I was watching these, I died a lot in these gameplays. I'm not normally this bad, but maybe that's the skill base. Maybe I'm just bad. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and peace.